Here's the thing. I kind of sort of like, I don't know. I still have to run this by some people. It's still a very rough idea, but I like to put feelers out on this podcast for anyone who might actually be listening, to anyone who might actually care. And I want to kind of see if maybe like we could maybe with me and some of my friends, we've got the camera skills and the editing and the audio, and I have the production team behind me. I have enough people I can call that will be like, yeah, I'm in, to basically make like a pilot of a sketch comedy show. And I know it's off the rails, but here's some of this. I have two solid ideas. I have two really solid ideas that we could probably get like a 15-minute pilot out of, maybe 20, like with a commercial or whatever, like maybe a solid 30-minute ep. We could probably, with another 5 to 10-minute bit, get a solid first pilot episode going. Here's the first two. And then the next story we talk about can honestly be the premise for the third. So here's the whole pilot for my sketch show that I'm trying to put together. Here's my first bit. I need someone to tell me if these would be funny or not, okay? Or even if they have potential to be funny. Maybe not even in the way I'm presenting it, but if you feel like, ooh, that premise is there, the premise is good, let's tweak this, let's tweak that. That's what I'm looking for. Here's my first bit, okay? So, for those of you who don't know, in America, we have this law. We have this law where you can, at pretty much almost, I think, any point in time, if you as a human being decide that the child you birthed and now have taken home from the hospital is too much for you to handle, you can anonymously drop that child off at pretty much any fire station within a few mile radius of where you live or wherever you want to go. Wherever you are, you can pretty much find a fire station and you can drop off your baby and they will take care of it. They will put it in the system. It'll get adopted by a loving family, a non-piece of shit, and basically love it and treat it right and grow it up, and it'll be smart and become a billionaire and buy a social media platform one day. And so you can do that in this country. And so with that premise, I want to make a bit where me as a 30-year-old man, my mom, I want Sandy to take me as a 30-year-old to the firehouse and drop me off, right? And so I want us to go. She'll talk to the firefighter. She'll be like, I'm done with my son. He's on drugs now. He's drunk all the time. He thinks he's a podcaster. He gets 0 download. He gets no views. His YouTube channel, he has like almost no subscribers. I want her to roast the shit out of me to this firefighter who then she's like simultaneously hitting on because it's like just her type and like she's not really, whatever's going on at home or like, whatever, maybe in the bit, she's single or something. And so like she's hitting on the firefighter. She's like trying to convince him like, hey, I need you to take my son away. I'm so sick of my son, even though I'm 30 years old. And then it inevitably turns into Sandy and I sitting down with said firefighter, and then the fire chief shows up, and then it ends up being a therapy session where we're talking it out, and we decide that Sandy then doesn't ultimately want to drop me off at the fire station, and then holy shit, they get an emergency. We get a call. They don't have enough volunteers on staff that day. Now Sandy and I have to go put out a fire with the firefighters together. And then it's us. We got the hose and we're blasting it. We're getting the fire and we're blasting the fire and we put the fire out. And then the whole thing is like a metaphor for like our relationship that like was toxic and on fire. And then like we came together and we figured it out and like we put it out with the water and the hose and like, and then it's a thing. But like we would put jokes everywhere and like it would be this whole thing and like I'd be weirded out. I think it has potential to be a funny bit. And then the second bit idea that pretty much will get it off the ground rolling is I think it would be really funny if like if we sent like I want to get like I want to get someone like a female who maybe average weight, average build, someone who doesn't necessarily need to like lose that much weight, and I want to like audition her or put them on The Biggest Loser. Like it's a like since The Biggest Loser is no longer a show, it'll be a revival, right? Everyone loves nostalgia. We're going to bring back we're going to get Nick and Vanessa Lachey to host the show. We're going to see them on a Peloton because we're going to be able to get Peloton as a sponsor real cheap. It'll cost us maybe $99 a month that we need them. And like Peloton will pretty much sponsor us because they could use literally any capital at this point to save their business. And so we can get Peloton involved. And then we audition a really skinny chick, maybe like even, I got it, a chick with an eating disorder, a female with an eating disorder, and we get her on The Biggest Loser, right? And so on the first episode, when we're meeting all the contestants and we're getting all the stories and everything and everything going on, and like the introductions to Jim and his wife Catherine and why they're here together, and they're gonna lose weight for their son. And then we meet Bill and Jane, and they've been dating for a while, and she's waiting for him to propose, and we really want Bill and Jane to get married, but they've committed to each other that they're not going to do so until they lose at least collectively 300 pounds. So that's why they're there. And then we meet Timmy and his wife Sharon. And Timmy and Sharon, they have two girls. They have twins. They're adorable little 5-year-old twin girls, and they're there for, of course, them and just their overall health and well-being of their family, and they're ready to lose weight. And then we send in Megs and her husband James, and basically they're like, James is like, maybe like 20 pounds overweight. James weighs like 180, 190, and it's not muscle, okay? And so he only needs to lose like 20 pounds, and he's going to lose it like that. And then Megs is going to come in under like no more than like 120, 125, because she's kind of got a problem. And so I want just to film all of the reactions of the other contestants when they find out that they're competing against this couple who really doesn't need to be there and should just be going to like Planet Fitness once or twice a week. And like, if you do that for 2 or 3 months, all of your ankle problems, your back problems, most of your acne, your health, your eating, and pretty much all the issues that your doctor's been warning you about since you were like 28, 29, and now you're 30, 31, 32, you probably should just be going to the gym or at least walking on a treadmill from anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour, like maybe once, if not 2 to 3 times a week, and you're gonna be just fine. But instead, you know what I mean? They're there on the revival season of The Biggest Loser, and we jump right into it. We get to the first challenge, and it's like the first challenge to win immunity and not be the first couple to go home after the weigh-in. You not only have to run half a mile, you have to do 20 push-ups, and you have to do a 30-second hang from the bar. And the couple that gets it done the quickest wins. And like Megs and James get through it in a little bit under 2 minutes. Everyone else, we're pushing 8 to 12. And they're livid, dude. And I think that'd be a funny bit. I think it'd be a funny bit. I understand it might be a sensitive issue. I apologize, you know what I mean? But like, I just think if it's in a funny manner, if it's comedy, if it's, you know what I mean? Like if I'm sorry. Like I get it. But at the end of the day, I thought it'd be funny. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe if like one of the couples, the one guy like had to have an oxygen tank and like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think so those are two funny bits. And then we can get the pilot started. Why not?